Tell me about it.
I'm back to my lookout cliff of a rocky mountain facing the ocean. I'm on the edge and sit down, soaking in the majesty of the mountain, the big rock facing the vastness of the ocean.
Can you repeat that last part?
Enjoying the big rock facing the the majesty of the big rock facing the vastness of the ocean.
Oh, beautiful. Do you smell the ocean?
No, I could see, I could, I could see the ocean and the horizon from where I am, but I'm high, I'm elevated. I just can hear the wind,
Beautiful.
see the
There's no
white
words.
crest, see the white crest of the waves from far away.
Beautiful. Anything else?
There's some rocks behind me that have some moss, some green on it,
Ooh,
but it's like granite, like gray granite.
okay. I want you to tell me the very first thing that you see down there below you, or the very first impressions that you have as you come back down to the surface. Are you coming off of that cloud yet?
I was lost in my mind.
Repeat that.
I was lost in my mind.
Can you drift down off of your cloud to the ground, drift off of your cloud, and tell me the first thing that you see or the first thing that you feel now that you're back on the ground?
I don't feel anything. I don't see anything. I,
Just talk to me and I'll explore that darkness until we find something in that darkness they're trying to show you. It will come to light as you look around and feel around in that darkness. Feel around in the darkness, and your vision will come through to you.
I saw a white flower.
A white flower. What did that white flower look like? What kind of flower?
I don't know the name of the flower. It has like 5 petals, I think.
Okay, that sounds beautiful. Is there only one flower or multiple?
There might be others, but that's not a
Okay,
flash that I got.
all right. And thank you for that. Explaining as you receive the flashes, I want you to explain them to me. Now keep looking around in the darkness and tell me if there's anything else that you can see or feel or sense. Okay? Turn around 360 degrees and see if there's anything in that darkness you can feel or hear, taste, smell. Experience the fullness of that darkness until it comes to view.
I sense a garden.
The garden.
I sense a garden full of flowers.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And this garden, is it a big garden or a little garden?
It's a small space, enclosed space. I have the perception of like more closer to like a rectangle or almost a rectangle type.
Mhm.
Very crowded with lots of flowers, more like an English garden type.
That
I'm
sounds
not sure. No, I don't know. It seems a little bit of organized, but very dense of flowers.
okay. Wonderful. That sounds very beautiful. And in this garden, are there any animals in the garden that are around the flowers? Any butterflies or birds?
I don't see animals. Uh, I have just this sense of density.
Mm,
Very crowded garden.
very crowded garden. Does it seem like it needs to be weeded or just flowers?
Oh, it's just like it's a lot of flowers
Mm,
on one side. I'm not sure about what is behind.
mhm. Let's explore this garden. Are you able to walk down one of the aisles, even though it's densely packed?
I am static, not moving.
Can you
I
look
only
at
have one angle of view.
one angle of view? Okay. And you're not able to move forward or backward?
No, I'm not moving.
Okay. Can you try to move? See what's on the other side of the garden. Get through the denseness. Walk through it. Very beautiful.
I'm not something. It seems to me that I'm static, that I'm not something
Mm, okay.
that can move.
Are you a
I don't
flower?
know. Or my view is not the view of something that moves.
Gotcha. Do you perceive yourself as being a flower in this beautiful garden?
No, I
What do
don't
you
know. I'm something bigger.
something bigger? Okay. Let's explore the something. Can you see if look down to where your feet would be and tell me
But
what
what that comes to mind when I said something bigger is I
yes.
saw trunk of a tree.
Okay. So that tells
I don't
me
know if I am a tree, but that's what came to mind.
yes. Your first thought is usually what you are. Okay. So you're a tree surrounded by a beautiful garden of dense flowers, correct?
Yes, and it's very
Wonderful.
crowded and it's very compact.
Mm,
There's no much room,
mm, okay.
and I have a view from an angle.
Okay. All right. Do, are you a very tall tree?
I don't think I am because I could see the flowers more like at eye level type
Uh-huh.
of. I don't know. It depends where I see from as a tree,
Mm, okay.
but I could see like bushes of flower,
Mm,
and it must be about a meter and a half high.
okay. Okay. That's a very good description. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Do you have any conception of what or perception of what type of tree you may be? We know you're a young tree.
The trunk is more like a bigger tree. It's more like a trunk of an oak,
Okay.
granular. I mean, like with it's not smooth like a gumbo limbo. It's more like um, a temperate climate tree.
Okay. Do you feel like you're a healthy tree?
Yeah,
Wonderful.
contrived but by the space. The
You feel
space
crowded.
seems tight compared to my size.
Mm.
It's
So,
crowded in there. It feels tight.
mm, so you're feeling depressed in this garden. You need room, and there's no room for you to grow.
It seems, yeah, it seems congested.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Lot going on, and no room for you to expand is the way you feel. And
Hmm.
correct. Okay. Thank you for that perception.
But
That
I
is
have a nice view.
a
I
beautiful
have a
view.
nice view. Colorful. Lot of bees, a lot of flowers. It's like a lot of people. It's very crowded, like a big assembly. I'm getting very hot.
So the sun is coming out.
I'm feeling very hot right now.
Mm. The body is feeling hot.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to ask for a body scan to start, if it will. We'd like
Yeah.
we'd like for the subconscious to go ahead and bring in the body scan and start scanning it while we're in this past life. If you can do that for us, we greatly appreciate it. Just to make her a little bit more comfortable. Can you do that for us, please, subconscious?
Yes.
Thank you so much. We want Sophie to be comfortable.
She's used to it. She knows it's upgrading.
Yes, definitely.
Upgrading, sweating. Oh my God. It's
All
like,
right.
it's so funny. I'm so still like the tree.
Wonderful.
Hot,
Wow.
sweating.
Okay.
It was so different on the cliff. On the cliff, I had a breeze from the. Now I'm sweating like, oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
going down a little bit.
Wonderful. Thank you for subconscious for doing that for her. We want her to be comfortable. There's no reason for her to feel any heat. Thank you. From her environment that she's in currently right now. She's just experiencing it. She's not feeling anything. All right. Do you have a family that's there with you in that garden of trees?
No,
Okay.
I don't see any other tree.
No other trees?
Not close by.
All right. Okay.
Outside the garden, maybe.
Okay.
Outside the fence or the wall. It's not a fence, it's a little wall.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want to tell me about this scene that may be important to help Sophie?
No, just quiet and stillness.
Beautiful place. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So let's leave that scene, okay? And let's move forward to another important day in the life of that tree. A day that you consider to be important when something is happening. We have now moved toward an important day in the life of that tree. What is happening and what do you see?
Branches with no leaves. Gray, no flowers. A different season. Feels
And it,
like death, but it's not.
okay. Just cold maybe, winter, fall?
Yes, it is windy, but I don't really feel the cold. It is windy. It took the leaves away. It's dark. There's no sun.
Hmm. So it's nighttime?
No, it's daytime, but it's dark. Or
Oh,
maybe before it becomes night. Mm, it's gloomy. It's winter.
how do you feel? Sad, happy? How do you feel? Alone? Hmm.
It's
Not as,
boring.
not as crowded as it was before?
Sleeping. Needs to sleep.
Hmm.
To wait it out.
Hibernate for the winter?
Yes.
Hmm. Okay. Do you feel better though that
Out.
it's crowded in the garden now?
Wait out. There is. I get it now. I get it now. It
Okay.
is that you wait out, that there is a time of darkness, and then comes the sun again, and the brightness of the colors, and the proudness of the garden, and the joyfulness of spring and summer. But
Mm-hmm.
it is not for now.
Mm-hmm.
Just be patient. It comes and goes and will come back.
Mm-hmm.
Every more beautiful every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
Wonderful.
beaches get crowded in the summer, empty in winter.
Mm-hmm.
The light will be back after darkness.
Yes. Yes. So life is like seasons, huh?
There are
Each
flows
year.
of season. You die and you're reborn,
Yes.
but you're not really dead. You're just dormant.
Right.
Flowers, they die, they have a shorter cycle, but they come back, more come back, but the tree sleeps. The trees, they sleep, so we just taking a nap and we just wait it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
The roots continue to grow.
Yeah. Is that what happens to humans in their life as well? Same type of evolution? We regenerate every year, every
They
season?
don't lose their roots. Yes, it's the same cycles, different,
Mm-hmm.
and there's more metamorphosis.
Mm-hmm. Could you enlighten us on that a little bit
There's no
more?
metamorphosis in a tree.
Mm-hmm.
There's no metamorphosis for the tree. It stays the same, just grows, becomes thicker and stronger and taller, and the root system expands, but we're still the same tree.
Mm-hmm.
Humans, they transform.
Mm-hmm.
They change. They have new envelopes. They look different each time.
Mm-hmm.
They experience different states.
Thank you for that information. That's a really good information for us. Thank you so much for sharing and helping us to understand your evolution as a tree. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to share with us in this scene?
Just stay still and wait it out. Just observe. This, the essence is within and the core. The essence is what gives life to the rest of the being. It's always there. It only transforms the energy.
Thank you. That's really good information for Sophie. Thank you for sharing that. And why does that happen that way? Can you tell us?
Evolution, experiences, growth, growth through different experiences in different forms, different state.
And that's how we all evolve as plants and animals and humans. Each time we evolve into a different state of being.
Different state, yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to share about that?
No.
Okay. Thank you very much for that information. Thank you. So now we're going to leave that scene and let's move forward to the last day in the life we're looking at of the tree. You can watch it as an observer if you want to. We've gone forward to the last day of your life in this lifetime we are watching. What is happening and what do you see?
See a large trunk, limited by the wall. It's still there, the trunk, but I don't see branches on top. It's like it's there, but it's not growing anymore.
Okay.
There was no more room for the roots.
Okay. Are all the flowers still around you?
The garden is abandoned.
Mm. Mm.
I have a sense that the garden, that the house that was attached to the garden is no more. The garden is not attended anymore. There is nothing there.
Do you feel like you, as a tree, have passed over to the other side from 2D to 3D?
That I can't tell.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. Thank you for sharing. So now whatever happened has already happened, and you are on the other side of it. From that position, you can look at the entire life of that tree and see it from a different perspective. Every life has a lesson and a purpose. As you look at the life, what did you learn from it? Can you tell me? What do you think the purpose of that tree's life was? And what did it teach you?
Stillness of being, be patient, wait and see. Mm. What's the point of being there when there's nothing around?
Okay.
Still being there, having a longer life. Everything around is dead or gone.
Okay. And what about the denseness of the flowers? She was feeling very enclosed and very hot. What was the meaning of all those sensations and her anxiety in that situation?
It was tight, crowded, dense, but it felt more lively. And then you have plenty of quiet and nothing else, but only one tone, darkness, colors are dull. It was better with variety, crowdedness was more light.
Made you realize that there's a reason for the denseness and the beauty, and made you stop and look at it. And then,
I had a beautiful view.
yeah, even though you felt totally enclosed and no room to move, you still felt like it was, you see the beauty in it.
Yeah.
Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. And you realize that it only was for a short time. As the seasons change, the denseness goes away.
Yes.
So there was no need for any of that anxiety and the feeling the sweatiness and all that and getting all worked up, because it will pass. It's only for a short while. Correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Is there anything else you want to share with us before we leave this life?
We got everything we needed to know about it.
Wonderful. Thank you. So now let's drift away from that life. We're drifting and floating away from that life, leaving the tree there to continue on her own journey. She will find peace. She will find what she is supposed to find. We're leaving her there to continue on her own journey. She will find peace. She will find what she is supposed to find. We're leaving her there to continue on her own path. Now, I want all of the consciousness and personality of Sophie to once again return to the body and fully integrate back into the body. May I speak to Sophie's subconscious, please?
Yes.
Thank you. I have permission to speak to Sophie's subconscious.
Yes.
Thank you. I respect the power of the subconscious because I know the subconscious takes care of Sophie. Her body and does a very good job of it. I also know that the subconscious has the records of everything that has ever happened in her life or lives. So I respect the power of the subconscious, and I always ask for permission to speak to it and ask questions. Do I have permissions to ask questions?
Yes.
I know the subconscious could have brought forth many different lifetimes for Sophie to see today. You choose to bring forward this life for her as a tree to see. Why did you pick that lifetime?
Metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
A metaphor
Uh-huh.
about stillness, cycle of life, patience, wait and see, evolution,
Uh-huh.
transformation. Sometimes it's better to go than stay.
Yes. Now, what does that have to do with her lifetime now? Can you explain that to her to help her?
It has to do with the evolution of humanity, the evolution of her life, the fact that things are changing, and that if she stays behind, she would only find isolation and darkness
Mm.
when everything is gone. Just
Are
the desolation.
anything else you can share with us about that?
Not everything and everyone e- evolves, grows, and mature at the same rate. Like the tree had a long life, the flowers had a short life. They were bright and brought life and colors and crowdedness, but they're gone. And the tree had a longer life, and he stayed when even when there was no life around him. So it is different now. Think about everybody evolving at the same time. Whether they're going slower or faster, it is not a nice thing to be the last one on the block.
So what you're saying basically is when something seems dead, it's not really dead. It can evolve for another season and come back.
Yes, or it comes back in another form,
Mm-hmm.
like transform in another shape or in another state of being, or
Yes.
like it could be a flower, then it could be a fruit,
Mm-hmm.
it could be a caterpillar, it can be a butterfly, it can be an animal, it can be a higher form, it could be a human, it can be a carbon body, it could be a crystalline body,
Mm-hmm.
be a physical body, it could be a light body, but they're still the same essence
Yeah.
of being,
Just in a different form.
different forms, different states.
Amen.
And it's not nice to be the last one to go.
I understand.
When everybody's leaving, we don't want to stay the last one there. Like the tree was the last one left in that garden.
Yes. This answers a lot of her questions. This really helps Sophie to understand what's going to happen. Is there anything else you want to tell us about that? That will help us to understand the transition for us as humans in the future?
Plus, evolution. And the wait and see, it comes when it comes. It will come. And enjoy the present moment. Appreciate the colorfulness of life in the present moment.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that message. We appreciate that. I'm sure that will help Sophie a lot. Thank you so much for that message. Okay. So now Sophie has a few questions she would like to ask to her higher self or her subconscious. And that is one of the questions. Is she speaking to her higher self or her subconscious? What is the difference? Can you help us understand that?
She's speaking to her subconscious, the part of herself now that is connected to all knowing, but does not know everything. Her higher self is not available to her now.
And why is that?
Because she's very grounded. She wants to remain grounded. She wants to be present to this life. And the more she invests emotionally and energetically into other realm, the more detached she becomes to the current life that she wants to live and enjoy at this moment. She knows at an intellectual level that all those things exist, but they're part of the future being and not part of the present.
So what she's doing right now, she should be enjoying her present life the way it is and not changing her life with
That's
the
why she's
predictions.
better at being the she is better at being a facilitator. She's very good at helping people go facilitating their sessions, but doesn't really need dwell on having sessions for herself.
Right.
Because then she doesn't leave the present moment. She got a lot of healing going on and still getting upgrades, but she doesn't need to do this if she wants to be anchored in the present moment.
Correct. Okay. Thank you for that. She needed to know that answer. That's very good for her. Thank you so much.
She should not worry about judgment, about being more or less advanced or enlightened or whatever. It doesn't matter. This is not truth. It's not her truth.
Right.
Her truth is to be able to be present. And everything is gonna come when it comes. It doesn't really matter. She should care about what she has control over. Is her well-being, the well-being of her family, and the well-being of the people she helps.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense.
She cannot control the fate of humanity. She cannot control the fate of the planet. The planet takes care of herself. She is just having to be a bright light in the present moment.
Correct. And help heal others because she's a healer, correct?
She's more of a teacher than a healer. She
Okay.
facilitates healing. She
Gotcha.
teaches.
Okay. That's a piece of information she really needed there. Thank you so much. She's worked hard to be a good teacher, too.
She's been a long student because she is always worried about knowing the right stuff. And being a good teacher, she wanted to make sure she learns as much as she can and still learning. She is always curious about learning.
Yes. We're all here to learn, correct?
All here to learn and learn independently. She has realized that she has to learn by herself. She should not follow
Right.
the learning of others, the views of others. She can make own views.
Yeah.
She should not feel bad because she doesn't see things the same way. Everybody has their own views.
Yes. Everybody
And
interprets
there's
things.
no judgment.
Right.
Yes, yes. She felt very sad and very hurt lately because she was being judged for being different and doing things differently.
Yeah, and no.
But she has realized, and she was able to speak that today, that it's okay to be doing things the way she does it. She is helping.
We are all different, and you're a teacher. So everybody experiences life differently, and everyone shares their experiences with others. When some people, like Sophie here, does not need the influence of others because she is a teacher and already has the knowing inside her. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, knowing, and she knows a lot, but she knows only at the surface what she needs to know at the time. But whenever she's revealed something new, she always felt like she's already known that.
Yeah.
It's not, but she does have access to all the knowledge that there is because she needs to focus on what has at hand. She gets scared easily. So she needs to be focused on what she has at hand.
That's going to help her a lot. Thank you so much for that information. Is there anything else there on that question you'd like to share?
No, we can move on.
All right. Now, she knows she has a starseed family. She's wanting to know, what is her starseed family? She's a teacher from what planet or what galaxy?
She doesn't know it. She feels more scientifically inclined. And she doesn't need to do that right now because of the same reason we just discussed. She is attached to attending to the family she has now. And she has little time, then she complains about not having enough time for that family as she had anticipated. So if she starts thinking about her other families right now, how can she give all her attention to family of now? Her family of there is there. and they synchronize, and she's not disconnected from them deep down, but she doesn't need to be aware of them at this moment
Mm-hmm.
because she needs to take care of what she's doing now in this life.
Mm. To keep her grounded where she's at and what she's doing. Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
otherwise we'd have her head in space.
Yes, okay. We understand. Everybody's different. Everybody learns different. And this is the way Sophie
Yes.
learns. Okay, perfect. Thank you. That'll be great
And she
information.
would talk about that and that would not serve her in the present
You're
moment.
right. Everybody, our information is given to us at the time that we need it. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay,
You got that right.
thank you. All right. So when she's ready for it, she'll receive that information. Is that correct?
Yeah. When it's with the changes, everything is gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna come soon enough for her.
Okay.
Soon enough based on her worries and of being present and enjoying the life now.
And that's most important right now. Enjoy what you already have.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. But she's worried about her daughter who's in college and wanting to continue her education. Is so that's what she's concentrating on right now is her husband and her family and being able to travel and get her daughter through college. Is that correct what she should be doing?
She doesn't worry about getting her daughter to college. She worries about getting a sense of normalcy in the life of family. And the traveling concern comes around the vaccination and the limitations imposed by society right now.
Mm-hmm. Is she living in fear?
No, not here in frustration.
Mm, like the rest of us. Okay.
As far as traveling is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
as far as the news is concerned, she
Mm,
shut down the news. She doesn't want to know anymore.
mm-mm.
She doesn't trust them. She doesn't like what it does, the energy it brings in the house. She
Yeah,
shut
it
it
brings you
down.
down. Yeah, I agree. So she's doing the right thing.
Shut it down. It's not letting her. She put herself down in depression for the last 3 years because she was concerned about all the things that were happening. She was concerned with the environment, about the division, and that was not helping.
I
She
understand.
doesn't like this red and blue shirt.
Yeah,
She doesn't
none of us
like
do.
this red and blue. She likes. She likes. She's a citizen of the world. She doesn't like this restriction.
We should all be one, right?
Yes,
Mm,
she always seen herself as a citizen of the world and worried about the planet.
mm.
She gets so upset when she sees people cutting trees. That really makes her mad. That makes her sad of the tree and mad about people when they cut trees that are healthy
Yeah.
for cosmetic or convenience
Mm-hmm.
reasons.
Yeah.
It
I can
happens.
upset her. Mm-hmm.
It's cutting lives that have nothing, that have done nothing to them.
Right. Yes, it is.
Cares about trees. Trees breath. Trees is our oxygen.
Yes, it is. They are alive, and we should not kill them. Just like anything else right now,
Yes, they are beings.
protecting them.
Yeah,
All lives matter, correct? Yeah,
yeah.
right.
She doesn't like those Black Lives Matter. No,
Yeah,
all
all
lives
lives
matter.
matter.
Any type of life,
Yes,
any form, any age.
that's the importance right now of the message is all lives matter, correct?
Yes, all lives matter. And the environment is essential. And she doesn't understand why they want to go drilling in pristine preserves.
Mm-hmm,
Why do they want to drill for more toxic substances? I don't understand.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There are some harmful beings still on this earth, but they are all being taken off gradually, aren't they?
Yes, but they should not have to be removed. We should have unleashed the planet for what the beautiful things it had given,
Mm-hmm,
not in terms of extinction, but it's the beauty and majesty
mm-hmm,
of especially the United States. Such beautiful places.
mm-hmm,
There is so much abundance, and there's so much lacking in places.
mm-hmm.
So much ignorance.
Isn't that the importance of humanity learning to share right now all of the resources for all of us to survive?
I think it's more important people to understand that the way they care for the soil,
Mm-hmm,
for the earth,
mm-hmm,
for the air, for the water is the way they're taking care of themselves. The more pollution, the more poisoning of water, the more death they bring upon themselves. More pesticides, more disease. We don't need a healthcare system that is really a disease care system.
mm-hmm,
We need to take care of the environment, of the agriculture. This is the most important part. This
mm-hmm.
is the source of life.
Yes, it is. I agree. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to share with us about that, Mother Earth? Does she have a message for us?
Wow, she's doing what she needs to do. She's going through cleansing. And
Transforming into.
if the people don't change, you have to take care of it by yourself,
Mm,
regardless of the parasites.
mm,
We are parasites.
mm,
We live off over.
mm,
So if we don't, when you have parasites, you need to cleanse, you need to detox, you need to wash it off,
mm-hmm,
scrub it out.
mm-hmm,
So if we don't behave, if we don't go along with her, she's going to take care of it herself.
mm-hmm. Thank you for that message. We need to protect Mother Earth right now and concentrate on Mother Earth, correct?
Yeah, it's like a parasite. Some parasites on fish or some animals that actually help the animal, that that's what we need to do. We need to be good parasites.
Mm-hmm. Learn
You
how
need
to
to be
help
doing
Mother
the right
Earth.
stuff to help the earth
Okay.
recover, flourish, prosper.
Okay. Thank you
But
for
our
that.
politicians don't give a shit about that.
Right. No, they don't.
No,
What can we do?
it doesn't matter whether they're blue or red. Well, they need to have people that are more earth conscious. They need to have real organizations that really care.
Okay. Thank you for that.
And they're not subjugated to some underground powers,
Right.
like people pulling strings behind the scenes for their own advantage.
Right.
But they are going to be revealed. They're more and more revealed about this.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, people are in the dark. People don't know. And they don't believe, even if they knew, they don't believe they can do anything about it. There's too
Yeah.
much ignorance. Education is key. And education, not from a non-domination standpoint, education with coming from within,
Correct.
from the inner knowing
Mm-hmm.
of who they are and what their connection to Gaia is.
Mm-hmm. So
And
we
not
need to teach
the
others to
problem
love
is
Earth.
that you say that in news, you're made fun of.
Mm-hmm.
That's about education.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot about education.
Mm-hmm.
We
And
are
willing.
7 billion people.
Mm-hmm.
Those leaders and politicians, they're only a handful.
Mm-hmm. We can change that though,
So
can't
how
we?
can they rule us? Yeah, people have to become aware. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's what this 3D, 5D transformation is going to bring.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hope.
Mm-hmm.
Lifting the veil, increase awareness, and expand consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. I'd like to ask Sophie's subconscious if you would please um, continue with the body scan and let me know if you found any problems in her body as of yet.
No, it's recovering
Wonderful.
slowly from the stress
Mm-hmm.
and toxic situation.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything she can do to cleanse her body to help her body heal?
She needs to continue the tonic. The
Okay.
tonic is good. Do you want to know the tonic?
Yes.
The tonic is 8 ounces of water, purified water,
Okay.
half an ounce or 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
Squeeze a little bit of lemon, put a little bit of honey and ginger. You can use the powder one, and you stir it in both direction with a stick, clockwise, counterclockwise, and you see the intention.
Mm-hmm.
I embody thy golden light force as I nourish my light body to the highest level, to the highest frequency that I can hold.
Mhm. Beautiful.
Put the intention in the water
Mhm.
as you drink it. And you can
Okay.
do that 2 or 3 times a day.
Mhm. Thank you. That's very good
It has
information.
helped her.
As what?
It has helped her
Oh, good.
overcome the crisis of last week.
Mhm. So that's going to help with her stress and anxiety that she's been having.
Yes, and raising her vibration.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you tell me if her chakras are open? Her pineal gland? Is there any blockages?
It's recovering.
Mhm.
She has done great progress with that.
Mhm. How is she going to progress over the next 4 months?
Be more settled, less worried
Mhm.
about material things
Mhm.
as she works from home
Mhm.
and sort out the problems with some things in France. She is she has been able to get rid of what she needs to get rid of, and whatever she'll not be able to get rid of, she can donate
Mhm.
so that she can alleviate the weight of the past.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
The less she has, the better she feels.
Exactly. You've told all of this. You've told me this in past that we need to all um, release the material things we have in our lives. We won't need them in the future. Um,
Mm-hmm.
all of the hoarding, kind of like of the stuff that we have, we won't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No.
Thank you for that
And
confirmation.
some people might use them, some people might use those things. It could be useful to others in the short while.
Hmm.
Might as well donate.
Help others. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Those who are less worthy, we can, or they need more than us, we can give what we have extra to them.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. So now, can you tell me if all of her chakras are open?
Her chakras are fine. She gets a checkup every 2 weeks. And she has been using binaural beats effectively to um, tune up her chakras
Mm-hmm.
for the last 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been good.
Mm-hmm. She just wants to know she's progressing well and not going backwards.
She is progressing, sometimes slowing down, but she is doing very well. She lost a lot of weight for her height,
Mm-hmm.
so she feels better.
Mm-hmm.
She understands that at her age, she can eat much less,
Mm-hmm.
and she should only eat when she's really hungry,
Mm-hmm.
which is really around once, twice a day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She's not carrying extra weight at this time,
Yeah. I was
and
told
her
that
liver
our
is
bodies will
good.
get lighter. It's important for us
Her
to shed
liver
that
is
weight.
good, doesn't need an extra cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
Can you repeat?
Our bodies don't need that weight anymore. We need to shed the weight due to
Yes.
changing.
As you age, as you age, you don't need to as much.
Mhm.
And that's why people get overweight or get like weight around their waist as they grow older,
Mhm.
because they continue to eat as if they were younger,
Mhm.
but they don't need to eat that much.
Mhm. Okay.
You don't need to have weight around the waist.
Mm. Okay.
It is not necessary.
I agree. Thank you. All right. So now she has a couple more questions I'd like to get through. Do you mind if I ask another question?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Now, we know she's had a past life because we went to her past life where she was a tree. Has she had more than one past life on this earth?
There is no interest in past lives for her at this time.
Mm, okay. Well, I appreciate you showing to her that she was a tree in one past life on this earth, so she would get the understanding that she needed for the lesson that it taught her. Thank you very much for that. I'm sure she'll appreciate it once she comes up.
Be mindful that past lives are not necessarily experienced past lives.
Mm-hmm.
They might be something used to experience
Mm-hmm.
a situation,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily personally, but vicariously.
Mm-hmm.
But the purpose of teaching
Mm-hmm.
remains the
Mm-hmm.
same.
Perfect. I,
So what she learns from a past life, we will not bring her more than what she gets from insights
mm-hmm.
or communications from us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it was a good tool for us today to use this metaphor of a tree
Mm-hmm.
for her to experience the
Mm-hmm.
situation from a different angle.
Mm, I understand. Thank you. Wow. Okay. So she's wanting to know, where do I stand on my karmic journey at this time?
She doesn't have to worry so much about it as not create more. It is about not about punishment, it's about creating balance. And she could actually come to balance whenever she does something that might be having a karmic balance, that she always can counteract it at the same time. For example, if she treats her daughter, or if she gets in a situation with a daughter that could be creating karma, she can become aware of it at the moment and just counteract it right there so that it doesn't become an issue
Mm,
to address later. But she can always address karma now, at the end, or later, it doesn't matter. It's all about her point of view and does and how she doesn't hurt others, but she doesn't hurt others. She's just impatient sometimes, and she's hot-tempered, but she doesn't really hurt people
mm,
to the point of creating karma.
okay.
She just brings on judgment on her from her behavior, but it's not karmic. It's more energetic. It immediately brings her down when it happens.
Okay. Thank you for that. Now, right now we're speaking to her subconscious. Can you tell me,
Mm-hmm.
she's wanting to know who her other guides are. Can you tell her who her guides are that are helping her?
The guides, well, there are several, but the one she knows from this lifetime, she already know them. It's a father and a mother. So she has the feminine and the masculine
Mhm.
as a balance from this life. But other guides don't need to be identified like you told her. They're light beings. They bring their energy to support her intensity. And she can always ask for archangel protections and healing if needed.
Mhm.
She's very familiar with those.
She's very what?
She's familiar with these energies,
Okay.
the archangels.
Okay.
Her number is 666
Okay.
2666. Embracing change as it comes, not anticipate. Anticipating brings anxiety.
Mhm.
Being in the present moment and fully live your life.
I believe that. Correct. Living in your I am present. Correct. As much as you
Mm-hmm.
possibly can. Keep your vibration high.
Yes.
Meditate and drink lots of water. Correct.
Yes, that's something she needs to remember. Drink a lot of water.
Mhm.
She always goes back and forth. And that's one of the reasons the crisis went serious last week. Because when she's under stress and she doesn't and runs around like a chicken with no head,
Mhm.
she doesn't drink and she becomes vulnerable.
Mhm. Exactly.
That's how she got in that toxic situation.
Mhm. Water makes our body lighter.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Mhm. Takes away from the denseness. Correct. That we're feeling.
And it detoxes, it removes the debris.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Magnesium too helps.
Okay.
Magnesium is very important.
Mhm. Does zeolite help to remove the metals from
Zinc,
the
yes.
body?
Yeah. Cilantro to remove heavy metal, to remove mercury.
Mm-hmm. Cilantro.
Cilantro.
Okay. Thank you for that. Is there anything else you want to share with?
Every plant has a counter.
Mm-hmm.
Everything as in on earth
Mm-hmm.
can be counteracted with something on earth.
Yeah.
Magnesium vitamin C, zinc, vitamin D, which are all helpful to deal with viruses, infection. Garlic is very powerful. Garlic has always been more powerful than medicine. It's just that people don't want to have that much garlic. You don't need to take medicine. You can do the same thing with everything that Gaia has to offer.
Correct.
COVID-19 and vitamin C, they are not good friends. You can actually get rid of a virus, upper respiratory virus, with high doses of vitamin C.
I've heard that.
Yeah, they don't tell you in the news.
No, they won't. Yes, I know.
No, they won't. They actually put it down in Facebook as fake news, as misinformation.
Yes. It's important for us to share this information with others, correct?
Yes. Sophie has done that a lot in the first month. She tried to teach people about it. Some people thought she was weird.
Some people are open to listen and some people aren't.
Yes.
But anyone who's willing to listen, we need to share with them.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
He needs to keep talking.
Important.
Yes. That's our mission, to share.
Yes, I agree. Thank you for that. So she has a question. What is the big shift in nature? Dealing with nature, what is the shift that's going to happen?
They don't call it the big shift. They call it evolution, transformation. It's evolution of the species with more awareness, a change in state of consciousness, a change in the consciousness, activation of DNA, as this happens, the veil becomes thinner. And everybody goes at their own pace.
Where they're supposed to go, correct? To New Earth or to another planet or to, some will stay here, won't they?
Everybody's different. Everybody has different choices.
And that's where free will comes in?
That's where the free will comes in. That's where they choose.
That's right. Okay.
Or they already have chosen some, but they can change their mind.
And that's what we need to do, is to help them change their mind and understand that this is evolution.
This is evolution.
Okay. Will there
It's
be a
more
physical?
leap, so some people calling a big shift, but it's just evolution.
It's happened 65 times before, hasn't it? This earth has evolved many times.
Yeah, this is not the first time.
Okay. Okay. So everyone will leave the earth one way or another, so the earth can change and become a new earth?
Well, those who stay, they're not like it.
It'll be really bad for them, huh?
Yeah, well, they are not going to want to stay then. So
Mm.
eventually, it's going to let this whole thing come. It's like when I'm telling you, parasites, at some point, they're going to have to go or
Eradicate.
perish.
Yes, gotcha.
It's not going to be a, it's going to be a hostile environment.
Mm.
You know, when you need to shade some stuff, I mean, who wants to stay around?
Mhm. So it's going to be really bad for the humans, huh? They will want to leave.
Someone will not want to leave because some people don't want change. Some people
Mm.
want to think of themselves as survivors,
Mm.
and they're going to transform. They're, they're going to transform anyway
How long will the
because the
transformation?
environment is going to be different.
How long will the transformation take for us to regenerate and come back to New Earth?
Can give time. Can give time. It's very, I
Mm.
can tell.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, um, we know that we will pass away from this body, and when we return, you don't know when that's going to be, but will we have a light body or another human body when we return on our new mission?
The body, the body will have to match its new environment, so it's going to be different.
Okay. So 5D is going to be totally different than 3D.
Yeah, it's a different environment.
Can you give us some details at all to help us to understand what 5D is going to be when we experience it? What will it be like to experience 5D?
There are already so many versions of that. The way it is, the way it will be, would be the way you create it.
Mm.
So you haven't created it yet in your mind.
Is that why you keep saying we are creators right now?
Yes, you have always been creators. You are creators.
Mm-hmm. But more emphasis on it lately, that we are creating our own reality.
Yes, but you become more aware of your essence of being. So there's more hearing about it now. But you all, in a way, a light being, but dormant in that form, but multidimensional. So you are doing that all the time, but not as a human being. The way you create in as a human being is in a 3D world, like whatever you create, how you organize your environment, how you clean your house, how you decorate your house, how you write a letter, an essay, a poem, a book, how you sing, how you share, how you create events that bring joy to your family. People always create, but at a different level depending on the environment. Some created the planets and created plants and created life and played with genetics. But you, in this life, you created many things too, but in a different way. So you create all the time. You even create emotions. You create communication. You create all the time.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you for that information. That was very, very
But
helpful.
when you're going to be in 5D, you're going to create in a 5D way. And because you haven't been there yet, you don't even know what you're
Mm-hmm.
going to create.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's the same thing I said earlier. Wait and see, be patient.
Okay.
There are those who won't say that they know, and they like to say they know. Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to know now? When you're not doing this, you have to take care of what you're doing now. If people were creating now the good earth that they have and maintain it, they not have to worry about creating another one.
Yeah. So is this going to be New Earth when it transitions, or is there another planet called New Earth that we will be going to after we transition?
New earth is that earth going through transformation.
So once this Earth is transformed, it will change to the New Earth, like the Garden of Eden for us, correct?
You would be renewed.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay.
It's going to take some time.
Mm.
Time when those who get, but time would be different for those who go in another place. There are those who stay and those who go underground, and then those who are gonna leave the planet and come back later. And time is gonna be different for them than those who are gonna be staying here.
Okay. Now, will Sophie transfer or transition with her family at the same time, or will it be different times?
They, if they continue to be connected and talk to each other, they will be they would be positioning together.
Wonderful. That will make her very happy to know. She wants to know, will her and her family experience any of the natural disasters that are coming to this earth? Will she be experiencing them physically, or will she already be gone?
You can tell her that now.
She's not ready for that info. Okay. Thank you very much.
No, no, tell her.
Our next question was, when will Florida be submerged in water? You can answer that if you will.
It's in process, it's in progress, but it's still some time. It's still some time. Less than 50 years.
Some time away. All right.
Yeah, less than 50 years. Shallow waters.
So Florida will not submerge when the shift happens? Will be submerged?
Doesn't seem like it would be fully submerged yet.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank
It would be a lot of water, a lot of flooding, but not submerged completely yet. You need to have a shift of the plates, sinking of land.
you. Okay. Now, is the inner earth going to flood first? And that will cause our water to rise on earth or no?
The excess of water comes from the melting of polar caps and the glaciers.
Mm. Will the glaciers
And there
crack?
are more precipitations.
What was that? I'm sorry.
And more precipitations.
Mm.
Sea level rise. Sea level rise is causing more flooding
Mm-hmm.
as there is already much water on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So when it rains, it floods quicker
Mm-hmm.
because there is no way for the water to go because it's already occupied on ground. Salt water is mixing with drinking water.
So is it important for us to stock up on water because the water is what we need to survive?
Or desalinization systems.
What was that?
Desalinization systems
Uh-huh. Okay.
to treat the water.
Mm-hmm. Will our government do that for us or no? Are they?
They're always behind. They're always behind. They've been dealing with protecting the piping system.
Mm.
They're working on sealing the piping system.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
The big issue is the contamination of the phreatic of the aquifer. The aquifer be contaminated with salt water.
Mm. And how can we stop that if we don't have a
Yeah,
desalination system?
you can't.
Mm.
Desalinization is the only solution.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Sea level rise cannot stop the ocean.
So when the oceans start rising, is that one of our signs that the shift is happening soon?
Yeah, well, the shift has been happening. There's been a lot of melting this year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot has appeared. A lot of ice disappeared. Even in the South Pole,
Should we be worried about the winter coming? Is it going to be a really cold winter?
It is not about it is about the pole shifts.
Mhm.
Which ones are going to be closer to the poles are going to get colder, but other parts are going to get warmer. So it depends on how the earth rotates.
Depends on location, correct?
Depends on location, yes.
All right.
Places that have been having temperate climates might have more heat
Mhm.
and erratic weather.
Mhm.
It all depends how the rotation of the earth is affected and the axis
Mm,
of the pole is moved.
I understand. Okay. I have two more questions and then we'll be done. Can you answer two more questions for us, please?
Yes.
What is ego from a spiritual standpoint?
Ego is not something bad. Ego was very important to be in a 3D world, and is important about existing, about creating your own identity. From a spiritual standpoint, ego becomes restrictive because it refers to one state of being and is not multidimensional in nature and is not connected to the whole is one. Its emphasis is on the unity of being as a one individual. And this is important to have a strong ego to be healthy in a 3D society.
Mm,
But if you are seeking growth spiritually, you return to the all is one, to the law of one, to being part of the whole. So then it becomes cumbersome to carry with you this ego.
mm,
So it has a purpose. It is not a bad thing. It is just not useful from a spiritual standpoint.
mm.
As you become bigger than this stuff, you are
Mm.
much larger as an entity. You are just a part of, of a whole.
Wow, that's a good answer. Thank you so much for that. Wow. So, can the subconscious be present and engaged at the same time? How does that work?
The conscious mind and the subconscious are part of the same entity, or I would say the same the same presence in one dimension. The conscious mind is limited to that dimension, but the subconscious is present in different dimensions. But they all related to the same being.
Yes.
So they exist at the same time. They don't have the same vision, the same broad vision, but they can be present at the same time. What gets in the way is when conscious mind is scared of what it doesn't know. But as we go and we evolve right now, we are activating both sides of the brain at the same time. And that's the point of binaurals and sync recordings, to activate the left brain and the right brain at the same time. So in the same vein, you can have the conscious mind present at the same time of the subconscious. And the subconscious can talk, and the conscious mind could be present and have an opinion. The only way to make sure that you hear subconscious is when you let the flow of words come out without thinking too much about it, because the subconscious doesn't need to think it over. It just flows out.
Yeah.
Conscious mind needs to play around with concepts and try to understand what it says. It takes much more time. But the conscious mind is not stupid. It's just limited in its ability to apprehend and comprehend, because that's its position. It can learn more, but it's not the point. The point of conscious mind is to make the person function well in its environment. And the subconscious is small. It's smaller than the higher self. It's the link between big entity, the big oversoul. All the strings back to that one. And the subconscious is that connection, that all-knowing, but for that entity in that dimension.
Perfect. Is there anything else you want to share with us?
It knows of all the other dimensions.
Okay. Yes.
I think it's enough for today, for this type of topic.
All right. Thank you very much. Are we finished with the body scan? Can we complete that now?
Yes, she's fine.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We appreciate all the information you've given us today. Definitely. Cool. Hey, that was a great session.
Yes,
That was
you'll be back.
That was great session. Wow. That was awesome. I really feel like you got a lot of the answers that you were looking for.
Yeah, I got it in the tree.
Yeah.
The tree life thing. It was really a nice thing. It came very surreptitiously, like it was a glimpse of that white flower. I know the name of flower in French. It's called pensée. I don't know, pansy maybe. You
Oh,
say
a pansy or
pansy?
chrysanthemum?
You
Okay,
have
okay.
flower pansy?
Yeah,
Panzy?
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a kind of flower. And I just
Yep.
got that flower, and all of a sudden I like slowly become aware that there are so many, many more. And then then there was a corner, like I was in a corner and I was a corner. And that corner was covered with bushes of flowers. That was really cool.
That was neat, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
That's that is
And,
really a
so,
experience.
so my vision is coming back.
Working now.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah, it's
awesome.
working now because it was very tough. I did a lot of pineal gland healing, listening and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was interesting. I like it. I like when it's symbolic too. It's because in the midst of it, I had the all understanding of what it meant.
It
Why?
all
Why this
came in.
tree? Why it's
All your questions
experienced
were
now?
right there. I'm like, that is so cool. Yeah. It was awesome the way you got
Yeah,
your questions answered. Yeah. That was awesome.
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
So that like did it. It's like me. Like I could be in a supposedly past life or whatever it is life you're exploring, and I think it's the right place to ask questions. I don't wait for the conscious place
right.
because it's right place.
Yeah. It's got you in
Yeah,
the place you need to
yeah.
be.
That's so. I'm glad we got to do that because yeah, not for the second part.
Right. That worked out perfect for you.
Yeah,
Good.
and it's not easy for me to be a client seat. Very tough because
You did
I'm
good.
so used to be on the other side.
Right. You're used to being the teacher.
Yeah,
And that's
but I mean, like, it's always like, yeah, yeah,
cool. You're a teacher. You're not supposed to be doing these sessions like this and being a healer. You're not a healer. You are a teacher. You are to get the information like and share it. That's your job.
yeah.
That's your, share with others.
So that's why when I do the sessions, I facilitate. The healer is not is the subconscious or the guides or the angels. I bring bring the healers, but
Yep.
I am not healer.
No.
So that's perfectly right because yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not healer anyway.
Right. Well, you got lots of knowledge. You really do. And then they're telling you, certain things they won't share with you right now, but when you're ready, it's all right there waiting for you to tap into. So when you're ready, you know, I don't know how long it's going to be, but when you're ready to tap in again, now we got a keyword. We can tap in and hopefully get a few more answers for you when you feel like you need those answers. But they said right now, you're fine. You don't need any of that additional stuff. Just do what you're doing and keep on keeping on. You're doing good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about your
So
family.
what was your impression about content compared to the other session you've done?
Oh, this one compared to my other sessions I've done. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, what did you think in terms of content and flow compared to what you've done before, the other session?
This is exactly what happens every time with me. It really is. It's awesome. Um, I always get a little bit more information every time out of each client, that they feel I need. And it's not for me anyway, it's for you, you know. So I'm not there to really get information from me, but I asked a few leading questions because I wanted yours to be clarified. So, and that was how I got all of your questions answered. And yeah, I just basically I want you to be helped with this and not me. I mean, it's not about me, it's about you. But yeah, this
Yeah.
session was amazing. It really was a good session. I feel like you got a lot out of
So
it.
what did you learn that for you that was like, oh, that's interesting to me?
The metaphor helped out a lot.
I cannot.
That's the first time they've ever used a metaphor. That was cool. Because you couldn't see.
Yeah, that metaphor is really good to teach, to learn something.
I agree. So they use the way that you learn, and that's why every session is different, is because people learn in different ways. And they just said, okay, this is the way she learns. We know she can't see. And I stressed that in the beginning that, okay, you couldn't see before. Let's see if you can feel or whatever. And sure enough, it came through in a metaphor and you got to see. And that was, it's just amazing how when you ask them the right way, they can bring through what you need. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Yeah.